Well, good morning, everyone. Hope you're having a great start to your day. As usual, we'll wait for a moment or two till people get their notifications, and so we can say hello to our faithful viewers. And we appreciate you guys very, very, very much. And Andrea, Niagara Falls, good morning to you. Jen, Cape Breton. And Mike from Norland. Rosalinda, Niagara Falls. Anna, right in our backyard in Hamner. Nancy, good morning. Renee, Nova Scotia. Kevin, Oshawa. Nativity, good morning. Wendy from Markham, good morning. Susan, Oshawa. John from Elgin, Illinois. Fran from Orangeville. Georgie, how are you? Halifax, Nova Scotia. Jeanette, bonjour from our staff. And Leela from Verner. Donna, Park Hill. And Moncton, New Brunswick. Vera, Newfoundland. Thanks for coming on. Sharon, Wyoming, Alpine, Wyoming, snow-covered. Must be beautiful out there. Maureen from Penticton, BC. Karen, Donna, Francis, and Bobby, Alberta, Zian, and Jean, dear friends. David, Ridgeway, Robin, Connecticut. Thanks for coming on. Yolande, bonjour. Mary, and Dave. We love you guys. I mean it. Jeff, SSM. Is that Sault Ste. Marie? I think so. Beverly, New Brunswick. Michelle, good morning from Richmond. Sharon, Michigan. The Mitten State. Okay, that's what it is. Missouri. And Babita, good morning. Mara, good morning from Windsor. Diane, nice to have you on. And Brenda, Campbell River, British Columbia. Oh, I'd love to go out and visit everybody. And another Linda, good morning, giving me hugs. Vonda, we love you guys. Okay, let's get going. Tara from Sandy, Oregon. Well, good morning. And we love you guys. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate all the Dave, good morning, and Jocelyn, and Jan. We love you guys. Okay. Now, I want to talk to you today about when not to eat. When not to eat. The two new studies just came out on when not to eat. Now, I think you guys have a clue because I talk about this a fair amount. My friend, the research is overwhelming. Two new studies. Don't eat at night. Don't eat at night. And there's a reason for it. Okay? Now, anybody that's followed me, I've talked about this for a long time because I always, in my clinic, we had tens of thousands of patients that had digestive problems. Tens of thousands over the years, more than that. And one of the things that I tried to teach them is, your plumbing, give it a break. Give it a break. If you've got IBS or irritable bowel disease or inflammatory bowel disease, anything from Crohn's to ulcerative colitis to gallbladder problems, acid reflux, yada, yada, yada. All of the above. I used to try and emphasize eating in windows. And if you would stop eating at night, digestively, huge difference. Okay? So that's one study that confirms what I have always been saying. Okay? Now, that's for digestion. So if you got acid reflux, which is a huge percentage of the population, try not to eat at night. Now, we're always talking to, of course, your choices that you make, but these studies, actually there's 3 of them, okay? Because the digestive one is just confirming what I've been telling you for a long time. Now, 2, they did a study on depression and anxiety, and they said this, okay? They said this. Here's the study. To those who don't eat at night, anxiety and depression was down between 16 and 26%. Okay? Just by not eating at night. Now, let me talk about this for a minute, because before I get into the 3rd study on when not to eat, okay? This is, in this article, it was actually interesting because it talked about the study of 16 to 26% followed thousands of people with clinical depression and anxiety. And they found that if those people didn't eat at night, there was a big improvement in depression. And we're going to talk about that, why that is. But let me just first say, then they went through depression. Now, you and I brought this to you most recently, started in August. August was mental health turned upside down month. Right? August was mental health turned upside down month. What do I mean by that? Well, in August, there was 3 studies that came out on mental health. And really, I'm not confident at all. And maybe it's just because I'm skeptical that anything's going to change. But what did they find? I'm just going to remind you. What did they find in August that should turn the whole mental health on its head? Literally. 1, that depression is not caused by chemical imbalance. Depression is not caused by chemical imbalance. All the studies, every study was reviewed, and they found that, astounding to the medical profession, I'm sure, that chemical imbalance, it was the chicken or the egg. They were always talking about the egg and never about the chicken. They were always talking about a chemical imbalance brought to you by Big Pharma, the makers of Prozac and Zantac and Ativan and these SSRIs. Well, what they found, that wasn't true. Shocking. Shocking. Because do a survey, even amongst lay people, and they say, what is depression? Oh, it's a chemical imbalance. They said no. 2, they looked at Alzheimer's, and all of the research that was done on Alzheimer's. The ones that said it's amyloid plaque. And they said that research was fudged. Wasn't true. And you only had to listen to our program because I told you what caused Alzheimer's. Why they called it originally type 3 diabetes. Because it's an insulin problem. And the research said exactly that. It was not amyloid plaque. They were trying to find a medication. And we've talked about this a gazillion times. How big pharma, they have their tentacles everywhere. And they're more than influential. The third one that came out in August was on bipolar. And again, it should have, bipolar, they said, well, all this time we thought that, it was a chemical imbalance and it was, but it really wasn't so. And there's a huge connection. Don't listen to me. I'm only reporting what the overarching studies showed. Bipolar wasn't chemical imbalance either. And they were talking about what insulin does to the brain. Now, we brought to you that in August. Okay, now let's fast forward. Okay, here we are. And studies are coming out on depression. And when they looked at, okay, what was the most effective treatment? This, guys, is incredible. What was the most effective treatment for depression? Okay? And here's the results, guys. Here's the results. If you don't eat at night, 16 to 26% better. Not cured, but better. A sugar pill, placebo, got the same results as the SSRIs in depression. The same results. 1/3 given placebo, 1/3 giving of those who took an SSRI, the results were the same. And it makes sense when you consider what we talked about in August. Yeah, some people got better, but they got better on the sugar pill too. Now, guess what got the highest results? Not eating at night was very good, but you know what? It's a vitamin. What got the best results in depression? Should be prescription medication to everyone. What vitamin? Let's see. Lynn, you're right. The sun and exercise. The sun and vitamin D and vitamin E. The real vitamin E. Do you know that got, and Grace, you're right. You guys are so smart. Deanna, you're so smart. The sun. Dave, the sun. Brenda, the sun. You've got Sandy, the sun. Georgie, vitamin E, you're right. Brahim, you're right. You guys, what did I tell you? Elaine, you're right. Kim, you're right. Helena, you're right. Leela, you're right. You guys, honest to God. You want to know why I'm so excited? You guys are, you're Lorraine, Anne, our audience, we know better. Wendy, you're right. Maureen, you're right. The sun and vitamin E. It showed out of placebo, SSRI pills, sun, steak, and steel, my new book, how that lowers depression symptoms better than SSRIs. Serotonin receptive to pick up more serotonin medication. It doesn't work as well as vitamin D, the sun, and vitamin E. Yep. Guys, I mean, well, it takes my breath away. We're right. But again, let's be realistic. You guys know that. I know that. And our little soapbox will try and get people to know that too. But as far as changing medicine's thinking, imagine if they would just give them a sugar pill. It'll get the same results as SSRIs. But why not give them a vitamin D? And why not give them a prescription and to the gym? Exercise. Vitamin E. Folks, it's incredible. It's incredible. And we understand vitamin D in a lot of ways, don't we? Because you see what vitamin D does. I mean, there's nothing like the sun that will elevate your mood. I mean, think about it. You know, yesterday we didn't see, I think it was, Monday. We had a great week. It was warm here, like in Northern Ontario. In case we forgot where we lived, yesterday we got reminded, okay, because I went out in the morning and it was rainy, but it was, it was fairly warm. There was there's still a southerly wind, and then it switched. And in case we forget that we live in Northern Ontario, for us, it went to about 2 degrees Celsius, just above 32, what is that? About 40 degrees Fahrenheit? No, it wouldn't even be that. We were freezing! All it took was a change in the wind direction. And like we had frost this morning, Frosty the Snowman. But you know when that sun is out? Wow, what a difference it makes. What a difference it makes. No, we always talk about the sun. Don't put your sunglasses on. Hey, don't go directly looking in the sun, but just the rays of sun. We already know what it does to melatonin, how it packs up your third eye, your pineal gland, and now you're going to be secreting much more melatonin, which will help you to sleep at night. Sunshine in the morning will help you sleep at night. Facts. But sunshine will help in depression. People get down. And not eating at night. Imagine that. Imagine that. Hey guys, These are studies. These are studies with people that don't have any skin in the game. They're just telling the results of studies. I mean, the pharmaceutical companies ain't going to like that. There's no money in vitamin D. There's no money in the sun for pharmaceutical companies. That's why Tony Jr. and I talk about this all the time. There's a war going on vitamin D. There's a huge war going on vitamin D. They don't like it. There's no money in it. It's so good for you. Okay, now, getting back to what I started off with, when not to eat. Well, you don't eat at night. And we talked about digestion, and that was one of the studies confirming what I knew in my practice to be true for almost 50 years. If someone had a gallbladder problem, ladies, and your gallbladder, because you eat salad instead of steak, use it or lose it. But I used to tell people, Doc, because they'd ask me, Doc, what can I do to help with I got stones. Well, I said, I'm going to tell you what to do. Don't eat at night. Give that whole GI a rest. Give your liver a rest so that you don't have to produce any more bile. Let your liver's not going to go fully to sleep because it needs to work at night. It works the night shift, but don't give it any extra work. You don't want it producing any more bile. Give it a break. Give your stomach a break. It will really help with acid reflux. You know, obviously cutting out carbs too, and sugars. I've talked to you about that many, many a time. Use it or lose it as far as your stomach too. Gallbladder and stomach. Because your stomach, believe it or not, well, I know you guys believe it, your stomach was made to eat meat, especially red meat. That's why you have a much different acidity in your stomach than a cow has. The pH is completely different because you're not meant to eat grass. You're meant to eat steak. If you don't use it, you lose it. Because you see, your body wasn't made, your stomach wasn't made to consume sugars. And acid goes up. If you insist on being a carboholic, your acid, okay, understand what I'm saying, because people sometimes mix this up. Doc, I got too much acid. Really, you don't. You don't have enough acid. And then your proton pumps inside your stomach will start creating even more acidity to make up for the lack of acidity in the stomach. And the problem is when those proton pumps get going, they send that acid up the esophagus. It doesn't stay in the stomach. Some of it does. But you see, one of the things that you have to think about is, obviously, if your stomach was made to eat meat, eat meat. Red meat. Your stomach was made for it. Now, the other thing is, give it a break. Give it time. That's what the studies are saying. Digestively, hormonally. Okay, because listen to this, okay? I'm going to bring you this study here. Eating late, okay? I'm quoting the study. Eating late changes hormones. Which one? Insulin. Eating late. Now, instead of your pancreas going night-night and letting it rest, you're using insulin. When you use insulin at night, it's worse at night. And here's what they said. Here's the study. It's worse at night because it messes up your leptin and your ghrelin. Leptin tells you, hey, Tony, you're full. Ghrelin tells you, hey, Tony, you better eat. You're hungry. Those get messed up when you eat at night. They become resistant. Just like insulin becomes resistant. It's the bad neighbor. It's been coming around too many times, knocking at your cell's door. And your cells go, I'm sick of you. Quit coming around. But if you eat at night, you mess up hormones. Insulin, leptin, ghrelin. Got that? Studies. Here's another one. Your fat tissue changes at night. Okay? Now, I just want to go back for a second here. Follow this with me. If you are stressed, your fat cells in your stomach, okay? Your fat cells in your stomach have an enormous amount of receptors for cortisol. So when you're uptight, okay? Women usually, this affects them more than men. But they can get belly fat from stress. Then you add eating at night. It's much worse. There's chemical changes that occur within those fat cells. One for cortisol, and the fat cells grow. And the other one is what happens to those fat cells, and insulin packs more and more fat if you eat at night, more than it happens during the day. Insulin is a growth hormone. It's another good reason not to eat at night. Interesting, isn't it? So, don't eat at night. When we do the reset, and really the reset helps in a couple of ways. One, it's the density of food. Remember what I've always said to you. Speed kills. It kills. The speed at which food breaks down kills. That's why, people, I showed you this the other day, right? A can of Coke and 2 eggs. They both have 140 calories. There's an enormous difference of what happens in the, I know there's sugar but what happens is a can of Coke, it sends your body into a tizzy. And insulin is secreted at an enormous rate. So guys, obviously it's not calories. 2 eggs and a can of Coke have the same amount of calories. It's not calories. It's speed. It's the wood stove that I talk to you about all the time. You got a log cabin. What's better? Oh, we're going for the weekend. Make sure you bring a lot of newspapers because we want to heat our log cabin. Let's bring a lot of newspapers and we're just going to burn paper in that wood stove the whole weekend. Not a good idea. Better to burn logs. Let's bring logs for the fire. Guys, that is the reset. It slows insulin response to nothing. If you have nutrient-dense food, insulin sits on the sidelines. It's on a holiday. So imagine if during the day you're eating nutrient-dense foods, the best in the universe, eggs, meat, and cheese. Nothing better nutritionally. Nothing. There's not a plant in the universe that's as good as the animal kingdom. I didn't say plants are no good. I didn't say God's candies are no good either. You can have some God's candies, not on the reset, but afterwards. You can have a little bit. Don't live on it. Don't listen when they say you need 5 servings of fruits a day. No. You don't. Okay? So guys, why do we love the reset so much? I know you're going to get pushback. How can this be healthy for me? Well, if you've been lied to long enough, you've been bulldozed into believing that meat, eggs, cheese, bad. Like I say, the food pyramid is completely upside down. Turn it upside down. It's been turned upside down. It's not the truth. It's propaganda. But if you have nutrient-dense food during the day, eggs, meat, and cheese, you have a slow logs on the fire in your metabolism, your mitochondria, your little battery packs within your body producing ATP energy is thanking you. Nothing will help your hormones than slow burning logs on the fire. From your thyroid, to your liver, to your heart, to your brain, and now we've proven it. I mean, a proof in the pudding is depression. Plus, stop eating at night. Stop eating at night. There's something to be said with eating windows. I'm big on eating windows. And a lot of it is habits. And your body will lie to you. You're hungry. Nah, not really. You're messed up hormonally. That's the key. You're not really hungry. But when your leptin and ghrelin are upside down, and look at the effect it has on mental health. Wow. It tied, just doing that, just stopping to eat at night, tied the SSRIs. Plus, the highest was the vitamin E and vitamin D. You think that's going to be, you're going to be able to read that on the Canadian Mental Health Association's website anytime soon? Or the American Mental Health, or the American Psychiatry Association, or the College of Psychiatrists in Canada and in whatever? You think you're going to read that anywhere? Nah, probably not. But you guys know it. It's unreal how smart you are. You guys know it. You had the answer right away. So the moral of the story, speed kills. Don't eat at night for some very, very important reasons. And it's not easy because we got the Netflix syndrome. You know, it really, that syndrome really went crazy during the shutdown. People said, okay, I'm going to, I already talked to you about some of those statistics. And people just got too used to, sitting around watching Netflix all night and then eating. Obesity rates went through the roof. Anyway, guys, start with yourself. Okay, I'm going to really, really make an effort not to eat at night. Try and have my supper, whatever time that is, end it. The earlier, the better. The earlier, the better. Okay. Guys, what's tomorrow? Question and answer Friday. You got your questions in? It's not too late. Send your questions in. Okay? We're happy to answer them. Okay? Now. Hey, coming to a theater near you. Sun, Steak, and Steel and Sleep. Be interesting. Hey, I done my part now. It's done. And we'll give you some dates once our publishers give us some dates, okay? So should be getting some news soon. Yeah, I'm not sure yet if we're going to be able to get it out before Christmas. I'd love to get it out before Christmas, but that's not guaranteed. Now it's out of my hands. Anyways, guys, have I told you lately that I love you and you guys are the smartest, the smartest, the smartest? I'll put my audience up against anybody's audience when it comes to health. I'm telling you. Geniuses. I'm happy to know you. Okay, guys. We love you. We'll talk to you soon.